Hi guys, hello Mary Meets everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene. But before we get started, I want to confirm yes, I did get a few hours sleep. No, I haven't heard any more from Dory about anything. Not just the phone, just me. I've been trying to reach her and I'm not having much luck. Um, Tomorrow is officially rent day and it sounds like my landlord's getting used to getting $800. And so I told him honestly, I said I haven't been able to reach Dory. I don't know what her plans are. I have no idea where she is. Um, but I did secure the data on my phone by locking the phone, which means just like with iCloud, she has to bring the phone back to me for me to unlock it. And which obviously she must have found kind of disgusting. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about that. And I know some of you guys are gonna want to ask me questions. You always do, and I'm gonna try to answer your questions. But let me be honest when I say this up front. Okay. Um, I don't have the answer to what's gonna happen any more than anybody else would know. Okay. So I don't know if Dory is sticking around. I don't know if she's not. I have no clue. Okay? So because of all that, because I don't know what she's going to do, I don't have any long term idea what her future is. Okay? So and that's an issue because um while you're at it, why don't you take out the ashtray? It's disgusting. Yeah, I will. Um, um, shows you. Sherry, I can see right now that Dory hasn't paid you crap any more than she has paid me. I'm gonna take care of this ashtray. Um, she's doing what they call conflict avoidance, which is a survival technique, which is fine. But unfortunately, the sad truth is when you are the one who's creating the conflict in the first place, it's kind of hard to avoid. Um, um, yeah, whatever. Seriously, I just, Okay, boys and girls, here's the short and skinny. So we know that Dory's trying to do conflict avoidance. We know that Dory doesn't want to deal with the issues in her life that she keeps creating. She's not the only person in the world that does that, and I'm not going to say that she is. Um, I think she is, like Sherry said, but I don't think it's so much just like Sherry said. Um, she took on too many responsibilities this month, and the problem is, instead of trying to nibble away on them a little bit like I would do, she just basically throws her hands in the air and says, I quit. And that's where the problem starts. Is it's creating a ripple effect that, of course, hurts a lot of other people in the process. And that is, really painful for the other people that are, pretty much part of the the chain of events in her life. So I don't know, for example, with my landlord, he definitely would like to see his 800, but unfortunately, if Dory's not physically here, I can't give him 800 because there's no money to give him. So 800 isn't going to happen. Now, I do want to try to contact a few more people because originally I had really planned to discuss this with a lot of this is supposed to be kind of a private meeting, but not really private because let's see. I'm going to send this message out to some of the people that I want to talk to. And I'm also going to send one out to Dory as well. Now, this will, of course, be on the public internet, so people can also, since obviously Dory does have the ability to watch this, I'm going to try to send this out. Now, as you can guess, kind of a little bit glummed out today. If that's any consolation. Now, some of the other people on YouTube have mentioned to me that they would rather see things like, for example, Sherry remain on the channel as a regular guest, and others have said, and me and Lumi are in the second camp, is that given Sherry's personal comments and off-color remarks, we don't really think it's going to ever happen, because for one thing, it just can't happen, because it's just not going to happen, because the whole thing with what's going on is that there's so many things going wrong right now that I can't even begin to grasp all the pieces. So, as I'm trying to share all these links out to the right people, I don't want to deal with everybody. I'm just trying to share it out with some of my main feeds, because I don't really feel well. Physically, I don't feel well. Emotionally, I don't feel well either. So, I mean, does mental illness cause runny noses? I don't think so, but anyway, the mental illness is actually, in this case, is depression. Depression is caused by, no, I sent this on Facebook, okay, cancel, I don't need to send that out again. So, well, first of all, you didn't miss much, CP. I just started and just explained that I have not heard from Sherry yet. I mean, from Dory yet. I don't know what her plans are. I talked to my landlord. He really kind of got used to getting $800 a month, and I think I heard the word evictions mentioned, but with his Macedonian accent, it's kind of hard to be sure. Even though I never ever was late on the rent, the situation's just a mess, and so some of you people have said I should go ahead and die and Some of you have said I should relocate to places where there's better jobs and opportunities. Some of you have said I should go fuck myself, which in this case is not literally, but um, I I don't know what I'm supposed to do because um, I really, first of all, I wish I knew what Dory was supposed to do because Tori's supposed to pay me the rent tomorrow. And her share of the rent, when she gifted me the phone, was supposed to be $325. Um, Obviously, I no longer have the phone, and she's using it for herself. And I want my phone data erased. So right now I put a lock on it, so she can't use it until I get back here to either erase the data, and then she can go ahead and use it for herself. But then she has to pay the full $350. I don't think that's unreasonable because I understand that some people have been telling her that she should take the phone back because her phone has a broken screen, which wasn't her fault that it got broken. But you know, the thing is that it's creating hardships for me, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So, if anybody has any idea how to or what I should do, what my next step should be, I really would be willing to want to talk about it. I mean, because I'm extremely upset. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know who to contact now because Dory is not in communication with me at all. I sent her a message on Facebook, and she's not contacting me. So I don't have a clue of what I'm supposed to do right now. And so that's causing hardship because I don't. So, if let's just turn this on here. Just to make sure it's working. Yeah, it's working. So I don't really know how to reach her. So I'm really, really unsure what the future is. I don't know how I'm supposed to um, get things going right now. Um, I gotta pay $50 to the court. That's gotta every month. That's not negotiable. I can't go back to the attorney and say, "Hey, okay, I can't pay you this month because my roommate picked up her shit and walked out on me." Technically, Dory didn't pick up her shit, so she didn't technically walk out on me. But she's not here, and you would have thought she would have been home by Monday. I don't have a list of all of her friends, so I don't know how to reach her through her friends, and that's causing hardship. So how am I supposed to explain what's going on and how I'm supposed to resolve the issues? So um, I want to talk to some of the people that I do know that I think are a little more on my side. Um, I do know that some people, for example, wish I would just drop dead, and I know others are saying to me is that we are concerned about your well-being and Lumi's well-being, and that we want to see you succeed. Um, and I really don't know which party I'm supposed to talk to, because right now, if I was, for example, to technically take down my shingle and abandon all my possessions and just arrange for someone to take care of my cats and was to go somewhere, or taking the next Greyhound out of here, the only problem is that's not really very constructive. It's actually almost damaging. It will destroy everything. Because you would leave more money to more bills and more debts, and Michelle would just be totally messed up. Again. So, for 2.5 years without the Section 8, I have struggled to keep, food on the table, and that's really, well, it's only, so, I wanted to try to talk to some of these people in private, the ones I trust, and the problem is I don't know how many of them actually would have been willing to use Google Hangouts. Not the Google Hangouts on air, just the Google Hangouts, the private one. The one-on-one Google Hangouts. And unfortunately, I don't have any knowledge if these people that I wanted to talk to would be willing to go that route. So, and that makes it hard, because I don't want to have all the trolls coming on this video and start, creating consternation. This is a really kind of a personal video, because I'm really going through a lot of emotions right now. Some of them were brought up by what Sherry brought up last night, and it really was brought up by that, because I feel like, well, not just Sherry, but with Dory too. First of all, let me talk about the Dory situation. Why didn't she ask me for permission to use the phone? Okay, if she asked me, and I asked Lumi, she actually asked Lumi, and she said she never asked us. No. She know I only use it really for the videos. So, but she should have asked me if she could use it. And I would have said, fine. I did, I never said to her that she could use it this weekend. So she probably thought, since it was going to be inside, she probably thought, well, I could borrow the phone and bring it back when Michelle's not looking, because Michelle probably using a computer keyboard on the screen. And that would be normally the case. But the problem is my eyesight is such now that that computer screen and Intel Core 2 Duo is in the next room. I don't have robotic telescopic eyes that go zzz to read your questions. And that would look kind of weird anyway. If you ever watch Futurama with Ben's eyes telescoping out, zzz, ding. Yeah, well, true. Michelle doesn't. I really kind of wish I had a larger tablet, honestly, because my eyes are not really doing as good as they could be. But I'm still struggling on to try to make a video, and still trying to do all these things. But in this case, with the Dory side of it, the lack of respect is pretty strong. I know people are coming up and up the stairs and stuff, but unfortunately Dory isn't one of them, apparently. I could be wrong. She could show up, but at this moment she hasn't, and she has no car, so no, Dory appears to be fine. The problem is I'm the one that's not okay. Dory, I know where she is. She's in Torrington. She's at her house on Maud Street. She's actually the one that's okay. She's the one who's staying with her cat. Me, I'm the one who's basically sitting on pins and needles trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay the rent. I'll pay $100 this month, or if Jimmy's going to throw my ass out the door because if I can only give him $700, because it's a month-to-month lease. So now I have to figure out what I'm supposed to do. So let's see. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna exterminate myself. That would be a waste. Besides, that's a violation of the terms of service of this life. Yeah, it's. We want to talk about that because people do kind of to bring that up is kind of disconcerting, but yeah, we might as well. Right? Okay. Um, if you terminate yourself, it's just like a video game. You got to start all over again. You can't get to the next level until you successfully complete this level. Terminating yourself is like pressing quit on a game. You'll never progress to the next level as long as you keep pressing the quit key. You gotta finish the game level. Sure, you can save your game level, which isn't really cheating, but that means that sooner or later you're gonna have to come back and complete that game level. That's what the life chart's for. That's why we have people come back multiple lives. Is sometimes the thing that they picked in their last life was just a little bit too complicated at that time, or they took on too much responsibility, and so that those people need to come back a second time to try to get it right. But still, you can't really progress to the next level if you press the quit key. So you gotta keep playing the game until you reach the end of the game, which sometimes can take a long, long, long time. Yes, unfortunately, it can take a long, 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 long time. Why did I lose my Section 8? Well, I lost my Section 8 because my landlord got it physically aggressive with the Section 8 inspector 2.5 years ago. So, because of his temper, as you know, Sherry, Macedonian tempers can be legendary. They will not rent to him on Section 8 to any of his properties anywhere in the continental United States. So, they said, I'm on good terms. I can go on Section 8, and if I want to take my voucher, it's portable. I can go anywhere. But unfortunately, the problem is that there's no financial, at least not enough for a moving truck, hiring movers, security deposit, security in a new place, paying for the gas, the electric, the phone, in the new place. Plus, some utility companies require you to put down a security deposit. So that means that there's just not going to be the resources to do that kind of moving unless I can find some gainful employment. But on the other hand, if I could find somebody that would be willing to work with me somehow to help me get my foot in a safe place, that's where I can help out with some of the bills and stuff like I was doing originally, and save up some money, find some work I can do, and then maybe I could have done something. But unfortunately, I don't know anybody, and that's the problem. What do you think about Michelle's situation? I think it sucks, honestly. But it's not a new situation. It's been this way since about 3 years ago. And it's not getting any better. There's no jobs here in Connecticut. The rents are ridiculously high. Michele can't make it by herself. So she took Dory on as a last gasp solution to the problem, which unfortunately did not, when Michele didn't know if it was going to last anyway, given Dory's personality. But now it's coming to a head. Winter's coming up, and Michele is going to have to do something quick, because if her landlord is, even if her landlord was willing to just take the $700, Michele is still $120 to $200 short for the rest of the month. And don't tell Michele to cut off all the stuff. That means she'd have to shut off the electric. She'd have to shut off all the phones. She'd have to shut off the internet. Michele would be living in a cold, dark cave. Nobody in Connecticut, you have to have electricity. It doesn't matter, because it's mandated by law. So Michele would be living in a cold, dark, illegal cave if she did that. Just so she can pay the $50 to the court. Just so she can pay her medical insurance. Just so she can do this. This is not a solution. The long-term solution, and the one that would make the most sense, is Michele has got to go where she can afford to go. Now, Michele could easily, comfortably live about $600 a month, and given the current income expenses. But even then, the question is where would that be? Now, Michele did see that Kansas has some nice features for the handicapped, but the problem is Kansas, from what I saw, it's not where Donald Trump's job creation is. It's in places like Indianapolis, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Indiana. That's where the jobs have been created. Pennsylvania is more than likely some job creation. Michigan, forget Michigan. Nobody wants to go to Michigan. Okay, it's just, especially Flint. Stay the hell out of Flint. So the problem is, same thing with Detroit. So no one knows where Michele's going to go. But this is not sustainable. Okay. Did Dory play Michele? Yeah, I think she may have done that, and that's where the problem is. And like Michele said, this is unsustainable. And I don't have any other really answers at this point. I mean, Dory likes to try to avoid conflict, but she likes at the same time to bring on conflict. So what happens is Dory brings out has all this, likes to play her own video games, and so she doesn't have any understanding of what is going on in the real world or what she's doing to the people around her. And when she's doing is, when she plays her video games, she drinks the sodas, and my God, does she drink a lot of sodas? No kidding. She drinks lots and lots and lots of Coca-Cola. Right. And the problem is then of course, I bought her a lot of sodas last month on my food stamps. And so this month we can't afford to do that because it's bad enough that the local grocery store closed. I'm talking about Winston Super Saver. So even if I wanted to get some better food, I have to go all the way out of town now to go to Stop and Shop. And Michele's case manager's new corporate policies, Michele is not going to be able to easily get the grocery shopping she needs. Michele could take the paratransit van. She could go ahead and take the van out of town to get the food. But the problem is with Michele's eyesight, it's going to be a lot harder in some cases to go for the best prices. Now, Michele is like a lot of people with Asperger's, especially a lot of people with legally blind people as well. Everything's positioned. So if she sees, for example, her gala apples are in the produce section, she's not necessarily going to always be able to see that brand A at Gala apples to say, I'm just coming up with a number here, guys. Don't pick that. Don't make fun of us, okay? Let's say, for example, brand A Gala apples is, say, $1.59 a pound, and brand B Gala apples is, say, $1.75 a pound. Michele is not necessarily going to grab the $1.50s because she might just wants to get her apples and get the hell out, or maybe she just doesn't have the patience to have to sit there and try to pick the $1.50s versus the $1.75s. So what might happen is Michele might decide just to get the $1.75 because that's closest to the door and what she needs. It's not necessarily the cheapest ones, but it's the ones that she wants. Right. Now Now, some people like to go to Aldi here in Torrington, which is great. Michelle doesn't like going to Aldi, but the problem is that's a little further away, and again, sometimes Michelle's case management team goes to Aldi um, once every 2 or 3 weeks. The problem is Michelle can't plan ahead 2 or 3 weeks. Right now, given what circumstances, Michelle's lucky if that her landlord doesn't drop her a notice to quit in 2 to 3 weeks, even if she's $100 short. Michelle has also got to pay the court, as I said earlier, the $50 a month. So that's the whole issue. And it's just too complicated. It's disturbing. Okay. What's this one? Is Dory a narcissist? Michelle could go to shelter, but the problem with that idea is that she has cats, and there is no shelter. Right now, they're all full. So Michelle could not afford to go to the homeless shelter because there is no shelter. Okay? Michelle also has responsibilities to take care of her cats. And so she can't just leave Rusty and Fame behind. That's not going to happen. Michelle is responsible for the well-being of her cats. So she's doing her best to provide for all their needs. Some people say, well, should Michelle try to get another roommate? Oh, Michelle could try to get another roommate, but the question is, it has to be a person that meets several criteria. I'm going to use my fingers so we can get this right. Okay? 1, the person has got to have a steady income. 2, the person has to be trustworthy. 3, the person has to be honest. 4, the person has got to realize that there's not a room here in this apartment for a lot of furniture. So it would have to be somebody who's willing to live in a little bit less space and still do good. What about Lynn? You don't really know Lynn, do you? So we don't know about the first 2 or 3 categories, and she doesn't have an income because she's unemployed. Right. She's unemployed because she's a teacher. She's a school teacher. And the problem is that she's between jobs, and she's living in the shelter downtown, and there's no room in the shelter right now. It's full. So, Michelle could easily, as long as her cat's needs are met, could probably go, if she could find somebody in another state that she trusts, she could do the same thing. But then she would be the roommate candidate. That she has to be trustworthy. She has to be honest. She has to have an income, which she does. And she would have to find someone to take over possessions because she doesn't have any way of carrying all that stuff to wherever she would be going. And that's a long-term problem because Michelle has a full apartment of furniture and studio gear. Yeah, studio gear. Lots of it. Won't the town help you? Michelle already got services from the town 2 years in a row to help with the situation. So the town will not do it for a 3rd year in a row. They said that's why Michelle got Dory to move in the first place, was because the town, through the bridge fund, has already said that they can't do any more for Michelle because she received money for the, you only can get it like twice a year, and Michelle got it for the 1 year, and then when she talked to Lauren at the town hall, they said, really, we can't help you again because we got to help other people. We only gave you assistance you needed, but we can't give any more assistance. So This is the reason why she's really so frustrated. Um, um, any uh, augmentations to sell. Well, Sherry, I wouldn't necessarily say quite that about Michelle's case management team because the problem is thanks to the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services funding, they've had their budget cut because Daniel P. Malloy, the governor of the state of Connecticut, confusing budgets. Now, what's worse is that there may not be a renter's rebate. If Michelle loses the renter's rebate, it's over. There's no way Michelle is going to make it. She's not going to be able to get clothes. She's not going to be able to get any the clothing. No new washing machine. No nothing. And we haven't heard any more about the class action lawsuit that Michelle is a plaintiff in either. So um, that's a problem because if Michelle could get some of that money that was promised to her through either through the renters rebate program from the state of Connecticut or ideally also from the class action lawsuit where a telemarketer who has been proven to be guilty of illicitly calling people's phones without their consent. Michelle could be making on that as much as anywhere from $600 to $1,800. So this is really important, and there's just no resources. It's just, and of course, this Christmas is coming up, and Michelle, but she doesn't have a family or anything other than me. We don't really know what we're going to do now because everything is so screwed up. But as far as Michelle's case management team goes, they're just as beside themselves too because they don't know how to help when they have no resources to help financially. Because, as I said, the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services has had their budget sliced and diced in Chilliant, and so has the Board of Education Services for the Blind in Connecticut. So there's no resources for Michelle to get assistance from those outside sources. So Michelle's trying to hold out as long as she can with what she's got. She is a Republican, but she's a realist as well. And that is that this state is not working out anymore. That's one of the reasons why Michelle and I had said it's time for us to consider relocating to a state where there's jobs and there may be more support services because there's more money to give people who want to get started and go back to work. Because obviously, in this case, Michelle is 49 years old, going to be 50 in a few months. It's going to be very difficult for her to just go ahead and fill out an application and then go ahead into an interview and have the employer go, well, what did you do for all those years? Michelle has very little work history other than working in a few restaurants as a dishwasher. That's the only job she technically was trained for. Uh, there's a lot of restaurants in some places, and Michelle would do fine if she could find a restaurant that needs a dishwasher. But a dishwasher is a pretty lowly job. It's not like it's the most popular job in the restaurant chain. But if it's the only job that you've got skills on, and also loading up the stock room, then you just gotta have to take it because that's Michelle likes doing the dishes anyway. But this is just so screwed up. It's not even funny. No. Oh, this is just so screwed up, man. Okay, now the phone's getting stuck too. Oh no. Okay, wait a minute. The stupid phone is stuck. Is it stuck? No. Yeah, sort of. Okay. That's weird. Unlock the phone, Loom. Unlock it from landscape and flip it sideways. Okay. So, okay. Just give us a second here. We're going to try to get back to the messages. For some reason, the phone is acting kind of funny. Okay, here we go. So, the that's the other program. Oh, sorry. So to make a long story short, guys, here's the story. We don't know what's gonna happen with Dory. No one knows how to reach Dory. Dory's associates are not contacting us. We don't know what she's up to. And what's worse is that the the situation is getting worse, is and nobody knows what is gonna happen. What would my dream job be, though? What would Michelle's dream job be? Just having a job would be Michelle's dream job, honestly. Michelle had a lot of dreams as a kid for careers, but unfortunately, she doesn't want to necessarily. Her whole life has been crushed under somebody's boot for so long, she doesn't even really know what her dream job is. Maybe it's kind of what she's doing right now, which is to, take the time out to communicate with people through media like YouTube. Michelle wanted to start a radio station years ago, an AM radio station. But the sad truth is, there's no way she can come up with a filing fee for the Federal Communications Commission. There's no way she can afford to go into the auctions and bid on a frequency. It's just too expensive for a small fry to start up a radio station in the United States anymore because big companies have bought all the good channels. So I don't really know if Michelle really has a dream job. But like I said, I think Michelle needs a job right now. And if it's a job that she can do, that would be a dream job. See, is there any others in here? Let's go through some of these real quick here. Alright, we see from around the church. What about the local church? There has to be someone that can help. No, because the churches unfortunately don't have the resources either, because their donations are becoming very low in the collection plates. They don't have the resources to barely even pay their own bills. Never mind trying to go out there and help. Michelle did go to the Salvation Army, and they said that they can't help either because there's just no resources. Neither can New Opportunities help. So there's just nothing in Connecticut, nothing in Winsted, Rhonda. Unfortunately for Michelle to get ahead, there's just nothing. And Winsted is too small of a town to really, unless somebody. Right now, here's the deal: if people know Dory Myville, tell her that she's got to do something, because Michelle needs to know why is she doing what she's doing, and what is her plans for the next month. Because maybe Michelle can renege with the landlord for one more month, but how long is she going to be able to keep doing this? Michelle needs a roommate, at least for the right now, for the immediate term. But the problem is who? We have no idea. Me and Michelle have chewed on that one for months. We were hoping very much, since Dory and Michelle did get along, that it was going to be Dory was going to be working with Michelle for at least a year. That's not the case here. Dory's antisocial behavior has demonstrated that there is something going on with Dory's head right now. Nobody knows what it is because she's not talking to Michelle about it. She did explain it to Michele. Michele listened to it. Michele understood what she was going through. But instead of working with Michele to try to keep them both from drowning, she basically throws Michele an anvil instead of a life preserver, and throws herself an anvil instead of a life preserver, and trying to uh, steal Michele's phone was just the tip of the iceberg, because Michele needed that phone because it had a larger screen so she could read the questions. But now, and all of a sudden, Michele only used the phone for reading the questions because she didn't need the phone part. She just used it like a tablet. So that is the reason why Michele got so upset about this. That's why I'm explaining this for the latecomers. That is the reason why Michele got so upset last night. Because what did Michele do wrong to Dory to get backstabbed like that? Nobody knows. Nobody could even guess. We have no clue. And Dory isn't talking. Dory won't call Michele. Dory has access to a phone. Dory won't even return her reply on Facebook. So that's kind of screwed up, if you ask me. Considering the fact is, obviously, Dory can read Facebook. She's obviously borrowing somebody's phone, and it's not Michele's, because Michele's phone is locked and sealed until she returns it. So she's obviously borrowing somebody's phone to read the Facebook comments. But why won't you call Michele and say what's going on and what she's going to do? Michele has to pay rent tomorrow. It's going to be either $700 with an eviction or $800 with no eviction, but no food, no nothing. So, which means more companies are going to send her to collections, and she's going to be sued for more money, which Michele can't pay. Thanks. You're welcome. That's just disgusting. Let's see. Okay, wait. Let's go back here because there's so many questions mixed in between here. So all your belongings and all the cameras and everything. Michele can't get anything for most of the stuff she has because most of the stuff is secondhand anyway. It's not really worth it financially. Michele can't sell everything because no one will pay her even close to what she's asking for. Besides that, Michele worked hard to build this network. Pink Rose Communications, which is the video division of the North American Snow Queen. The Snow Queen work is free work. That's work she does because she loves weather and she loves snow. But the educational arm is Pink Rose Communications, and that's what this is. Supposed to be was an educational arm to inspire, to educate, to help people to understand and grow. And it's becoming really expensive to run. I sent CP, actually Michele sent it, I sent it, a video on the ad apocalypse with YouTube. YouTube is doing everything it can to sabotage any income bringing in AdSense for the small fry YouTube channels. Like Michele's channel doesn't have the kind of viewership that gives her big channel clout. Some people have mentioned that they can make $50 a month easily on YouTube channels. Michele makes about $50 every 2 years. And they actually haven't even given her her first check yet because YouTube won't give her a check until she receives $100 worth of ad revenue. She's only a third of the way there, and that has been for 6 years now. So it's really painful to see how much everything was stacked up against Michele. And what else? What did I say? You said quite a bit there. Do you want me to discuss something else first? No, we'll finish this and then we'll discuss that. Okay. So, um, I guess that's all I can think of. Because Michele is getting screwed, and no one will buy her stuff. She really needs help, and unlike Benjamin Weinstein kept saying, Michele doesn't normally beg for money. Um, Michele has been blessed a couple times this month, thanks to some contributions that Michele wants to use for the channel, but now she's like not sure if there will be a channel anymore. We don't know what the future holds. Um, so that's about it, I guess. Just these engineers. Let's see. I'm trying to find out what's next here. I don't understand half the stuff that Brian is saying. Hack Michele. He says here that YouTube is part of the NWO. Yeah, it's a globalist organization. You already know that. I don't know anything about this Article 53. Don't either. But, Brian, I really would like to focus on the main topic here right now. And, I'm not interested right now of talking about other things at this point. Any guiding words for Michele? I have a request for anybody who knows how to reach Dory Myville in person. Tell her the situation is dire. That she tells Michele what her plans are for tomorrow. She has less than 24 hours, and that is no joke. Dory Myville has got to pay Michele this month's rent of $325 minimum. If she doesn't, Michele will more than likely be out in the cold in the month of November. Okay? That's serious. That's not no joke. Now, if Michele does end up having to go out in the cold and has to take the next Amtrak out of Connecticut, could someone please agree to take the care of the cats and give them a good home? Because there's no jobs in Connecticut, and Michele does not have the ability to lose her cats. Her cats are very special to her. She loves her cats very much, and she wants her cats to be happy. And Michele has done everything she can and can't come up with any more. She's suffered so many things, and she's just doesn't know what to do anymore. Thanks. So, as Lumi said, if you guys know how to reach Dory and tell her that the situation is grave, and that if she thinks I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill over the cell phone bowl, no, it's only a tip of the iceberg. Because, as Sherry jokingly said yesterday, she thought Dory was going to go bye-bye. But from talking to Dory myself a few nights ago, Dory feels conflicted right now. And so Dory doesn't know what she wants to do. The problem is Dory doesn't give you 30 days notice or 90 days notice. She just walks and leaves everybody unsure what they're supposed to do. So I'm asking, as it specifies in the book, I don't know which scriptures it is, maybe CP knows, or it says if someone does you wrong, first talk to them individually. If they don't work, talk to their friends. And if that doesn't work, talk to the church. In this case, the church with Dory would be Facebook. I've already expressed my concerns on Facebook. But I really rather have talked to Dory. But then Dory doesn't want to call me. Dory doesn't want to send me a text message. And she could send me a text message. At least I know she's getting comments from Facebook. But she doesn't return messages on Facebook to me. And that really is, hard. I went, for example, by the way, just so you guys know, me and Ed, we did go look at that apartment. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, it was too late. It was already rented out on the other side of town. The rent for 2 people could have been doable. But the problem was, it was already rented. So, that's not a solution. And besides, what do I do with a 3-bedroom apartment anyway? That's about 2,000 square feet. Seriously, guys, I don't even know what I would do with a 2,000 square foot apartment. It's just me and Lumi and the 2 cats, and this place is big enough. I really don't see what I would do with 2 apartments. An apartment that's 4,000 or 2,000 square foot. Well, that's not very helpful, Brian. I don't think that's very helpful at all. So, that's just not gonna, that's just not obtainable, at all. No, and I think that Michele is right when she says that the situation is somebody's gotta manage to get Dory to contact Michele and give Michele a straight out answer and not give her a bunch of excuses. And Michele has been very patient. Now, as far as why Michele, like Michele said, the reason why she got so mad about the phone last night was she uses the phone because it has a larger screen so she can read the questions. And no one told her that Dory was going to use the phone for her own use. So Michele had no clue that when she was looking for the phone that she was going to find the phone in the box and the charger and everything else wasn't there. And then Michele used to find her phone and found it was now sitting in Dory's old apartment on Maud Street in Torrington. So now the question is why is Dory doing with Michele's phone on Maud Street in Torrington? And when Dory reactivates the phone and puts money onto Michele's SIM card, but she doesn't even bother answer the phone. So that sounds to me like somebody who certainly shows disrespect for the person that, number one, she, quote, gave the phone as a gift. For those of you who saw the video, Dory even stated that. I gave this to Michele as a gift. And yet, what happened? She took it back. She took it back, but why? We don't know. Because her phone got fallen on the asphalt and the screen got cracked? That's Michele. Even Dory said, that's not my fault. That's not Michele's fault. But people kept saying to her, no, she should take it back and use it for herself and fuck Michele. Michele didn't do anything wrong to deserve that. Okay? Now Michele definitely doesn't deserve this. So, I don't think that's fair at all. And that Dory's behavior is acting like this. And I think it should be somebody needs to sit her down and tell her Dory very firmly, look, what you're doing is disgusting. Okay? Yeah. I don't know how you'd be able to help Brian unless you live in the Torrington area and you got the ability to go down to her old apartment on Maud Street and actually knock on the door and tell her, listen, Michele needs your phone call immediately. She cannot wait. She cannot wait for you to decide to go ahead and that thing. Oh, Michele will pay right now. Let's pay her back later. You were supposed to give her something this month already because you got paid on Monday. What did Michele ask for? Michele asked for some chlorine bleach so she could clean the bathroom. She didn't even bother bring any cleaning supplies. She didn't bring anything. That's all Michele asked her to bring. She said, we gotta clean the apartment a little bit because the bathroom smells bad because apparently it sounds like there's a mold and mildew issue. Dory didn't even bother to bring bleach. So that tells me that Michele can't even ask Dory for a bottle of bleach. And that's really what, like $2 at the dollar store? Really? That's disgusting. And then you have people like, now I'm going to have to tie this in with person number 2. Sherry Heaton saying about Michele's apartment being full of bugs, mosquitoes, and being messy. That messiness is not from Michele, damn it. Don't you realize that? The mess is not from Michele. Michele keeps her place clean. Dory leaves her stuff all over the place. Michele has to go chasing around after Dory to pick up all of her stuff, her clothes, her food, everything. It's not really Michele's fault. And yet, people like Sherry saying this, well, Michele's apartment is full of houseflies. Oh, it's disgusting. It's not Michele's fault, lady. And also, why in the hell do you have to be so disrespectful, Michele? Even on the live stream with you and Jesse last night, you were talking some horrible things to Michele and me, and I have to tell you, I found it really, really discommoding, extremely disgusting. I don't know why you treat us so badly. What is it about the way you interact with people socially? Is something wrong? Because it doesn't make any sense. It's almost like you have no respect for people. I'm sorry to say that, but I just have to say that. But I am trying to. She is. Michele really wants to. But unfortunately, the problem is it doesn't seem like those kind of positive affirmations are around here. You know, it's just like it's just like being, it can cause PTSD. I mean, really, you know, it's almost like being in a war zone. How in the hell are you supposed to feel when you're sitting in a foxhole and you got the equivalent of Charlie, and he's right out there, and bullets are whizzing less than a foot over your head, and you're trying to figure out how in the hell am I going to be able to get up to go to the latrine without getting shot in the process? That's pretty much what it feels like. It's almost like Michele is under attack on all sides. The same thing with the trolls. The trolls attack Michele from all sides. What did Michele do to deserve people that were attacking her like Benjamin Weinstein? What did she do to deserve to be treated with such disrespect? Nothing. Michele has been working diligently for years trying to provide for the needs of everybody. But the sad truth is that there's a whole bunch of people that just don't like Michele for reasons that I'm not quite sure. And I'm not either. And, I mean, let me speak now. Okay, go ahead. Alright. First of all, why are the trolls attacking me so much? I have no clue. Okay? Why does Sherry talk the way she does about me? I don't know. Why did Dory apparently, and I say apparently because we don't really know the details, why did she decide to walk away, take my phone with her, and not even bother contact me? Oh, there's a phone call now. And you see that? Alright, that's my house line. Alright, I'll take care of it. Hello? Yeah, this is Michele. Hello? I'm sorry, sir. I really don't have any money to give you. Okay, I understand that you want to support the local police department, but I don't have the resources to help you. Okay, please put me on your do not call list. Okay, thank you. First of all, guys, how can I give a donation? How can I give a donation to the local police department with fund when I can't even get the resources I need for myself? Um, so, so the question is, guys, is why did, like I said, I'm looking at your questions, by the way, as and so is Lemmy. We're looking at these questions. Right now I don't see any. I see a kind of like a slight lull. And the first question is um, I have one question for some of the trolls. Okay, right now most of them are not here. Okay, but Brian K may know some of them. Why are the trolls treating me like they are? Why? I don't know all of them. I just know only one or two of them in particular. But I don't think it particularly mentions which names they are. That doesn't matter. That's not the main thing. Is I want to know is, given the fact is that neither me nor Lumi have done you any harm, we have, unfortunately, in some cases, provided you with plenty of material for your teasing us for reasons I don't know how. Is why do you attack us so much? This is a small channel. We don't have a lot of people on it. We just cover a few topics. Is why do you guys just act like you do to us? That's the question. And well, thank you very much, Ron. I appreciate that. Um, she says, I'm sending hugs, love, and strength to you. And we get 3 watchers on it. Yeah, I know. Now, does the CP and Barb have any suggestions? I mean, like I said, originally I was going to try to do a private Google Hangouts, and I realized that I never got permission to send them a Hangouts request. And right now, given what I feel, is that I feel really kind of isolated at this moment. Yeah, isolated. And I really wish somebody, you know, could. I still really wish somebody could do this. So if somebody knows how to reach Dory on Mod Street in Torrington, please tell her or get her to call me. I don't care if she likes it or not. I'm not asking you to basically chain her to a chair and throw a phone in her face. What I'm saying is that she needs to tell me why she did what she did, and not only that is what are you going to do for the month of October. I need to know that. And those are not, that's not a minor topic. It's a really serious issue. I need to know. Because, you know, the way Jimmy was talking, it sounded like he's not too afraid to possibly throw me out in the street, even if I'm only 100 short. So, I mean, I need to know what I'm supposed to do. And if you have any ideas how to reach her at her old apartment in Torrington, please do contact her and tell her. Stupid thing. I got it. Um, um, so, if you know how to reach her, it'd be great because I really, could really use her to call me. It's not that she doesn't have my phone number because she does. She knows how to reach me on Facebook, and she knows how to reach me on email. I think I don't know if she has my email address, but she certainly could have uh, found a way to contact me through some way. And so, if you guys can make it easier and we could do that, that would be great. If we could try to straighten out this issue. Um, right now, let me quickly see if there's any messages from her or emails or something. So, um, let's see. No, no, that's not it. Um, so this is, like I said, softwareexplorer.com. What's that? Junk mail. Let's see. Um, I tried calling Dory on Messenger on the computer, and I was unable to um, to reach out to Dory. And no, she did not contact me on Facebook. I have no way of reaching her. She did not contact me. Um, so you guys, I really do need that help. If somebody could at least get Dory to reach me, I would really appreciate it because I'm really totally stumped at this point. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm afraid that I'm going to end up losing out. Um, and they say the good people finish last. Well, yeah, but in the long run, though, Michelle, you know as well as I do, the good people actually do get final rewards in when they finish the race in life. Um, it's kind of like the existential version of the tortoise and the hare. In other words, in this case, those that try to rush through life see they're getting ahead, take a nap, mountain their sun and laurels, while the slow tortoise, slowly moves towards the finish line. Are you going to be ill prepared when the fact is that the tortoise is near the finish line while they're sitting there going, how would they do that? Well, that's a good question, Lynn, because, I always saw myself more like Wally Coyote. All those times you fall off the cliff and the old sign that says, "Oh no, not again." That's true. It's always that way. um. All right, so guys, okay, now can I talk? So you want me to focus more on what I was talking about the situation with Sherry, or do you think we should just go wrap this up tonight? Well, um, I personally would um like to explain that given the way that Michelle was, and I are being treated last night, is we're thinking about disinviting Sherry. We don't really want her to be part of any more live streams because, well, the trolls may get upset about that, but the truth is that right now, I don't think we're ready to deal with Sherry's little jabs, and it's really, really painful. But it's we just can't deal with it right now. I really am sorry about that, but me and Michelle have discussed it. It's just not comfortable to be at the mercy of someone constantly poking fun of me and Michele, and it's right now we're in no condition to be, it's no laughing matter first of all anyway, but the situation that Michele is feeling this funk. Michele doesn't used to get into a funks. Once in a great while she does, and it's it's painful because you know Michele wants to try to put a positive spin on things. And I know that Michele and I have watched the news about the things going on with the shooting in Las Vegas and all that, and we don't want to cover that. Right now we're having enough personal issues that, we don't want to cover the global news. It just, the personal issues just seem pretty thick and heavy right now. So, but, as, like I said earlier, we really could use some help if somebody in the Winston Torrington area could, as I said, could get out to Dory's house on Mod Street and tell her, listen, you gotta do something, because if you don't do something, Michele's gonna end up being homeless because she can't afford to give Jimmy $800 this month. It's not practical unless you pay your share of the rent. And even if you pay your share of rent, Michele is only going to have $130 after all the bills are paid. So you need to do something. Michele is afraid to default on any more credit cards because they might take her to collections again. And then if she goes to collections enough times and fails to pay, wouldn't that mean that would be equivalent of a failure to pay per court order, which could result in Michele's arrest? I don't know if they would try to arrest Michele. I don't want to find out if they would try to arrest Michele, because that would be so debilitating. Because Michelle's legally blind. I don't think Michele would be safe in a woman's prison right now. I think that would be just destructive, especially for something that Michele has been fighting for years to pay the bills and trying to reestablish the credit score. And her credit score is mediocre, but she's trying, and she's trying hard to get ahead. So alright guys, listen, me and Michele have got to get going, but I thank you all for contacting us, and at this point, there's not much more to say. You now understand the situation, and I'm reading all the comments and everything. Of course, I didn't cover everything, but maybe you guys can, as I said, if you guys can reach out to Dory and tell her that she needs to do something immediately, because yeah, Michele wants the phone back, absolutely. At least she wants the right to get a phone back so she can erase the data on that phone. And she also still needs, for this month anyway, $325 or $350. Dory always seems to say that she doesn't care if she burns Michele because she wanted to get a car. Let's talk about the car thing for a minute, because even though this is not Michele's issue, I want to bring this up. Dory saw this little Volkswagen Beetle, one of the newer ones, and she, what was it, electric mucus green? I don't know if it's electric mucus green, but it was green. Okay. Um, and she saw this vehicle for $1,500 cash because Dory has a driver's license. And so Dory says to Michele, um, I want this car. I'm bummed out because I don't have $1,500. And Michele says, well, if I get the settlement from a class action lawsuit, we might have enough money to get you the car. But then you're still gonna have to come up with the insurance and the title and registration and everything else. So, of course, Dory is impatient, and we heard from an unconfirmed source that Dory was thinking about buying the car anyway, and basically fucking Michele without the Vaseline. Okay, so that I think is disrespectful right there, because Michele never did anything wrong to Dory, um, and she did understand that Dory wanted the car, um, but Dory has mental health issues too, and she has ADHD, and she's not going to necessarily, um, you know, listen to common sense to somebody who is, you know, a very knowledgeable, very quiet person. Michele is what they call an INFJ. If you know anything what an INFJ and the 16 levels of personality is, you would know that Michele believes in justice, but she's an introvert. She's a thinker. She's not a person that goes out there and um, gets in your face. But she rather think about it. But she um, is a moderate sense. She's just social justice warrior, but she's not one of those people that you see the SJWs out there in the news just trying to destroy everybody's lives. That's not Michele. And stupid thing is doing this again. Why is it? Why is it pulling up the keyboard? I have no idea. All right. Uh, so, all right. So here's the deal, guys. Since everybody else apparently wants to get ready to wrap it up in the day too, we explain what's going on. Um, you guys can share this with your video with your friends, family, church mates, whatever. Let's get the situation resolved before it becomes a problem. Okay? Let's do something about this. And unlike Benjamin Weinstein says, Michele is not a deadbeat. Michele is not a welfare queen. Michele is a good person who has suffered a lot. And she's still trying to do the right thing. I'm Lumi and finish and MicheleMarieDalene, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Stay out of trouble, stay warm, and talk to you later. Bye bye. Bye bye, everybody.